The year is 1942. In the space of 3 months starting in June, German offensives into the Caucasus and south of the Don River have advanced very quickly. German Army Group B has reached Stalingrad despite Stalin's Order 227 saying not a step back. Already in September, street fighting is a grim everyday reality. The Soviet 62nd Army, commanded by General Chuikov, is hanging on to a few small bridgeheads on the west bank of the Volga River. The city lies in ruins, but the fighting continues. Conditions have changed dramatically. From fighting over entire suburbs, the fighting is now about single streets or even single houses. If the Germans want to get to the Volga, they will need to get past Pavlov's house first. This building will play a major part in the hellish struggle for control of the ruined city. It dominates the square around it and becomes the main obstacle between the Germans and the river, not far from a ferry crossing. In this mission, General Chuikov will brief you on taking the house with your men and lead its defense. Move quickly and be ruthless. As soon as you have full control of the house, prepare every floor and every position for the inevitable next fascist attack. Put your AT gunner on the top floor. Hold the house long enough for the next wave of supplies to arrive. Show no mercy. July 1943. After the battles during the winter of 1942, a bulge in the front line seems to be the ideal place for the Germans to start another summer offensive. They plan a pincer attack to encircle the Soviet troops around Kursk. The attack starts on July 5th. On the 7th, the northern pincer still hasn't gained real momentum. This is caused by fierce Soviet opposition and well-prepared defenses, layered deeply and protected by millions of mines. The German 9th Army under Model struggles towards Poniri and Olchovatka. Their goal is to push through the defenses here and march south. The area around Poniri becomes the stage of one of the fiercest battles ever. Attacks are met by counterattacks and every house is being contested. The Central Front under General Rokossovsky is determined to stand its ground come hell or high water. You will be in charge of the defenses in this mission. You will have to face the onslaught of the enemy's main attack. Make sure you cleverly place some mines between the tank ditches to stop enemy armor from breaking through. If they do, fall back to the second line of defense. Defend every house, every shed, and every chicken coop against the fascist aggressors. Make sure you hold the second line until our comrades of the 13th Army are ready to join you for a counterattack. Make the motherland proud. November 1943. During Operations Rumyantsev and Kutuzov, the double Soviet counterattack that eclipsed the German attacks at Kursk, the Red Army has gained a massive amount of terrain. The front line has moved hundreds of kilometers in the past few months. After a last push on the east of the Dnieper, the Soviets have now regained all territory east of the river. The Germans have decided to set up defenses on the west bank, naming this the Wotan Line. Even before construction work is finished, however, the Soviets are already across the Dnieper at Lyutezh, north of Kiev. Stavka launches the Lyutezh offensive operation, which widens the bridgehead. From there, the Soviets break out to the south in a wide sweep around Kiev. The German 7th Army Corps has no choice but to fall back west, abandoning Kiev completely. Brushing any opposition aside, the 3rd Guards Tank Army leads the way toward Fastov, a railway node south of Kiev. This particular city will need to be taken and all enemies removed to deny them a chance at regrouping. In this mission, you and your trusted comrades will lead the way south into Fastov. You will need to heed the lessons that were learned during the street fighting at Stalingrad to pull this one off. Most roads to the center seem to have been blocked thoroughly. You will need to flank the enemy if your troops are to reach their final objective, which is to eliminate the enemy's core position in this part of the town. Good luck. Since the beginning of the year 1945, the Red Army has advanced far into Germany. Pushing hard toward Berlin and into Prussia, progress is slowest in the north, where the Soviets meet stiff resistance from what is left of Army Group Center. but in late January the Soviets already reached the coast to the west of Danzig, surrounding Army Group North in two major pockets. By the end of January, Koenigsberg is almost isolated. Day by day, the grip of the Red Army tightens. Well over 100,000 terrified civilians and refugees remain in the city, yet no preparations for evacuation are being made. The Germans seem set to defend to the last. Then, in early April, the Soviets start an artillery bombardment that lasts for 4 days. On April 6th, the bombardment finally ends and the attack starts. The Red Army storms the city from all sides and in massive numbers. They break line after line until they reach the inner city. In this mission, you will be leading your troops into Koenigsberg. The Germans have turned the city into a fortress. They have built strongholds everywhere. You must take these out first and then take the railway station. As soon as both are secure, you can advance into the city center. You will have to take out the old fortress Havelberg, which dominates the old city gate. You will receive heavy artillery to deal with the fortress as soon as it can be spared. Get ready to storm Koenigsberg. Good luck.